Happy Sunday, everyone. It is a warm one across the valley, and we'll see that for the next couple of days. And I know it says that there's some possible rain showers coming, so I'll walk you through that in a moment, but overall, those rain chances are going to stay rather low. It's just enough to note that we'll see some possible showers in a couple communities. So for right now, temperatures are still around 90 to 92 in some of our warmer areas, Muscle Shoals, Athens, here in Huntsville, but lots of other folks are in those upper 80s. We are still seeing some mid 80s out of Fort Payne, Winchester as well, around 84. So bearable heat, honestly, because we're not dealing with high dew points giving us humidity, adding in some stickiness to the air. It's not stuffy outside, but it is warm. I will not take that away. However, it's a little more bearable than what we deal with in August. So we're a little above our average for this time of year too. We're usually kind of in these mid to, I would like number wise, I'd say about 84 to 86 being our high. We're a little warmer than that, and then we're expected to jump back into the 90s. So planning out the rest of your evening though, nice and comfortable. 80s will start to settle around most of the communities. By that point, we'll all be in harmony by that point, closer to the 6 and 7 o'clock hours. It'll be nice and calm. See some cloud cover every now and again throughout the night. So if you haven't had an opportunity all weekend long, maybe go out on the porch, on the patio, debrief, enjoy your evening. It's nice, gorgeous patio weather, and has been for the past couple of days, really. We haven't seen a lot of rain with some of this dry spell that we've had for, what, a week and a half? Question mark. But yes, it's been quite dry, leaving it to be some favorable conditions to spend some time outside without the idea of rain being in the way. So the shoals right now, like I mentioned, they're one of our warmer areas. You can see there's a couple of clouds in the sky, but hasn't been too many to be an overcast type of day. 91 is where they sit, still a little comfortable, like I mentioned, in comparison to what we typically feel like around the 90s. Usually we're kind of like, it's 91 outside, but it feels like 94. The cool and dry aspect with some of the lower dew points, it's going to keep us from feeling that unbearable and just awful, to be 100% honest, humidity that we're used to feeling. And that's the good part about the next couple of days, because though we get back into those mid 90s, you'll remember a lot of times when we get around that 93, 94 area, it starts to feel like 108 and 109. Thankfully, we won't see that. If it's 94 as the degree, you may feel 95. Maybe. So that's usually not our norm. So we're kind of taking that as in, we're now in September. Things are starting to dry out a bit more for us, which is wonderful. So I'll take you through this hour by hour. Now, our models are trying to push some rain our way. And as you can see here, it's maybe a couple passing showers that it wants to push our way this evening. This is kind of coming off of a bigger cluster of storms well north of us, but I don't think we'll see long range showers and storms this evening. You can see how that's moving through, and it's very minuscule in nature. So you may come across a passing shower. Doesn't really last all that long. I believe this started at 6:30, and you can see that this is 7. It's kind of dissipating, especially as we start to lose some of that daytime heating. We're at a point now that our sunsets are starting to be earlier than the 7 p.m. hour. So we start to lose daytime heating around that 7 o'clock hour, which kind of, there's a better way to say this, but it kind of puts a damper on some of the showers that are moving in, because they use that heating for fuels to keep pushing and moving through the valley. So by the time it makes its way through to the valley, it's going to be overnight, and it looks like it may lose some strength from that point. So that's what I was saying about some overnight showers. There you go. This is around midnight on Monday, you'll notice that it still hangs well west of a lot of our communities as well. Looks like that top western corner of Lauderdale County will get a piece of some steady rain for the 11 and midnight hours. We'll see it it looked like it was gaining strength, but we're getting closer to the 5 o'clock hour. There may be some changes in this model run, but yeah, it's starting to look a little less. All right. There was a stop point there, but we'll see some of those rain chances possibly through Monday. But again, that remains for most of our westernmost viewers that are in the Lauderdale County. And I believe that is Lincoln County in Tennessee. Yeah. Maybe not. Lawrence County. There we go. So here's the thing, though, with those rain chances, they'll dissipate in the early hours. So that's why I put a 20% for tomorrow, because it's, again, a very slight chance of those showers being in our viewing area even. And for the people that do see them, it'll pass through on and off 20 minutes at a time. It's nothing major. Now, there are some showers that are trying to kick up in the southern portion of our communities around 5:30 in the afternoon, evening commute. So we're also seeing a sprinkle or two, some showers in our Tennessee counties as well. So biggest deal here is just the fact that we could see these showers popping up. Some of our models are a little more aggressive, and I feel as though we've had so much dryness in the communities. Haven't really seen much of an opportunity for these rain chances to get up off the ground. So we could see some showers passing through in the afternoon and evening. Again, very isolated, scattered, and honestly, not even severe. So just a passing drizzle or two that'll last, like I mentioned, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Steady, it'll feel like steady downpour, and then it's gone. Before you know it, it's over. So that's a lot of these rain chances. You can even see the spottiness on our model at this rate, and that's around 9:30 tomorrow. So even still with some of these rain chances, it's going to be kind of tough for them to get off the ground because it is so dry in the area that it may not even make its way down here because there's no added moisture to keep it going. So tomorrow we're expecting things to be around 90. It's going to be hot, uncomfy, but it's going to feel better this time around that we're in those 90s because we aren't dealing with stuffiness. You'll just feel the sun beaming on you, though, if you are outside for a longer period of time. So that's about it. As far as the tropics go, just one lone little disturbance with a 70% chance of forming. Still no sign of Gabrielle, right? We had Fernand. Yeah, we did. We did have Fernand. Still no chance of Gabrielle. Maybe this may form into it, but it's kind of looking unlikely. We've had several disturbances in the same spot, but haven't really gotten beyond that. Just a disturbance. Haven't moved its way into the tropical storm and that next step of a hurricane. So, which is good to note. It gives our East Coast folks an opportunity to recuperate after Fernand, which is still kind of lackluster, but still, they had some storm surge coming off of it, so at least it's off the radar. So, getting back to your 10-day forecast on our end of things, it looks like, again, that 20% chance of rain going to hang around. It's really just every now and again downpour in very sporadic areas. That's what kind of makes it tough to pinpoint because it's so dry in lots of our areas that it's like that may not even get the opportunity to get going like we think it will. So 90s will return. Today we were pretty close. 89 is what I saw for a couple communities. I know here in Huntsville we were at 92, but lots of our surrounding folks still in those upper 80s, not quite making that 90 across the board, but Getting into the next couple of days, we'll get back into those low end 90s, seeing some 92s, 93s. Some of our warmer communities could be around 94, 95. Still warm, but no humidity. It's always a good note. As we get to Friday and Saturday, that's when we start to see a boundary moving through. Now, it is rather weak. It's on the weaker end. However, don't count that out as in, oh, it's nothing to worry about. We could see a passing shower or storm moving through. Just depends on if it decides to gain a little more strength on its way in. We're still looking into the rain chances for Friday and Saturday. Right now, they look like they're going to be kind of similar to what we may see tomorrow. It's enough to say we did have a chance of rain in the valley. However, by the time it gets to the valley, it may not be able to get off the ground enough to create more than just a passing 20-minute shower. So, very run-of-the-mill. We're kind of at that point of the year. At least we get some type of rain chance, something to look forward to. Especially our drought monitor. I don't know if anybody saw yesterday. I got very excited about our drought monitor finally changing. Woo! So we have some areas that are finally out of the abnormally dry region, which is wonderful. But we're used to kind of being a little dry at this point in the year. So we get back to some upper 80s with that low boundary moving through. Very weak, like I mentioned, but it'll take us back down just a tad. Now, there is a possibility to get to some low 80s. See a second possible boundary moving through by next Tuesday. Fingers crossed. Maybe we'll stay in the 80s this time because we are a little above average right about now with some of the 90s that we're seeing. So maybe we'll stay there, hold it, and this dry spell will... I would like to see another shower or two and a good chance, not just a 20% chance. I would love to see about a 30-40% chance. But even still, as we've got this dry spell, hopefully the dry point with the dew points being as low as they are, I hope that remains. Though I know how weather works. And it may not, but I will take it for what it is. So like I mentioned, a lot of our highs will start to drop into those upper 80s. By the following work week, we'll get back into those mid and low 80s. Plenty of sunshine for lots of these days ahead. Like I mentioned with some of these showers, very sporadic in nature, so don't expect them to take over your whole day. Some of us may not even see rain. I checked radar this morning, and the rain chances that were on the radar barely made it across the Alabama state line. So it was a 20% chance of rain for our Tennessee counties and maybe like a couple of miles of Lauderdale County. So there you go. We just like to make sure that people are aware that, hey, there's a possible rain chance and it's gonna put a damper on some folks' day. Not everyone, but a couple people. So with that being said, have a great rest of your Sunday. Relax, enjoy the gorgeous weather, and I hope you'll tune in tonight, 5 and 10, although it may be a little later than 10. We've got some football. Don't know if anybody's been watching, but the Bengals won. Yay. I hope my Falcons win. Please, I'm begging. Yeah, it's been a good weekend for football on all my team fronts, so hope that is the same for you. And I hope you have a great week ahead. I'll be back here for another Weather Extra tomorrow morning at 10:30, so I'll see you then.